Mic check. I used to cop a lot, but never cop no drop. Hold mics like ponytails tight and bobble ops. Stop and stick around, come through and dig the sound of the flop round 606 cycle. Who throws a dick around, bound to go through flat.
Sucks that you can't be like, I want an AI that's nice and racist, and I feel like that's, if I created an AI, you know what I mean?
You would make one that's unstoppable with ultimate free speech.
You could do anything, yeah.
It could say or be whatever it wants.
Absolutely.
Imagine an AI brand being accused of the first blackface AI.
You know what they say, there's no racist without AI.
Oh my God. All right, anyways. Anyways.
It's a good way to start.
So you've been working?
I've been working, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, my job's been, like, I'm fully in the matrix right now.
What is that supposed to mean?
Like 9 to 5, Monday through Friday.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Just bumper to bumper. Just, that's my life. And like, because I went from like working in film and then working with my dad, like on boats and shit. Like, I haven't had like that real,
corporate experience.
Corporate. And it's so corporate. Like, you ever see Severance? The Ben Stiller show?
No.
It's just full Severance. Like, it's a show about like, the concept is that like, you get a surgery to split your brain to where like your work life and your personal life are completely separated. So like when you work, you go into this place and like your brain shuts off, and then you clock in, you work all day, and then when you leave, it's hard to explain, but basically when you clock in, immediately it feels like a minute later you clock out. You don't remember work.
Oh, okay.
So you don't remember what you do at work. So you only live like your, freedom of regular life. But the other version of yourself only works. So that version is like a slave. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's called Severance because it's a double entendre.
I need to watch that.
Oh, it's
like severing.
severing the brain, but also severance, like work, a pun kind of.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah.
So then it comes to this thing where the people inside who work this job, the job's like real mysterious corporate vibe. And no one really knows what they're doing, but it's like they're newborn babies there. They don't know a life outside of that place. So it's like completely like,
that's creepy.
They all meet. There's like four. It's so creepy. And there's like a boss who knows everything. And then the whole show is like the innies, they call them innies, like trying to find a way out of there. Like they start developing, like they start.
Oh.
So it's a bigger play on like, Matrix vibes, but like they start having a mind of it being like, wait, there's got to be more to life than this. They don't know about God. They don't know about.
They just know work.
Their
what
Bible is
doing.
like the corporate, like whatever.
So they're like the cocksuckers at work that tattletale on people when you're not doing something you're supposed to be doing.
Literally.
Yeah.
And a lot of the characters, are like that.
And they
They're
slowly
like,
morph into
He's like the Messiah. He's like the one who's like questioning things, and then it gets in. It's honestly like I don't really like.
It feels like real life to me because that's like exactly what I go through in my head from like day to day at work.
This can't be it. Like I have such a problem with just Monday through like. I mean, at the end of the day, you only get like 2 days in the weekend, and then. Like 5 hours after work? Like
we're working our lives away.
We're slaves, bro. I'm telling you.
No, 100%. We're literally American slaves.
Kanye was right,
the most
bro.
comfortable slaves ever.
It's comfy slaves. That's the thing.
That's the problem.
You make great money. You have this life, like, to buy things, and it's great and everything. And obviously, like, first world problems, all that shit, like, I'm lucky to have a great job and all that health,
That's the problem, though. Is society makes us feel guilty for wanting something more.
Yes.
You shouldn't be able to not have to work. Like, this isn't like, fuck you. Who do you think you are? It's like that whole complaint they have about younger generation not wanting to work.
Yeah.
it's not that we don't want to work. We want to do something we want to do without being
Absolutely.
restricted to.
Yeah. Our fucking parents and their parents were so locked into the Matrix. Like, I hate saying the Matrix. I don't know what else to call it, but like they didn't. Now once you like, it's so gay, but once you know, like
Once you
can't-
take the red pill,
once
you can't go back.
I'm literally just the Matrix. It's just
yeah.
but it's true, bro. Like I don't. It is kind of like that because I know this is not the way, bro. I'm like fucking. But
How long have you felt like that?
for a long time.
Like, can you pinpoint an age?
I don't know. Maybe I was like fucking. Probably in high school. When high school like was like when I learned like I used to have a huge problem with like
Getting
the
to school?
education system.
Yeah.
Like I would just I don't know. There was a lot of questions. I always hated the phrase. What was it? Once you're in the real world, you know what I mean? Like they would always say that in high school. Like,
Yeah.
once you're in the real world.
Good luck.
That would
Yeah.
bother the fuck out of me because I'm like,
Yeah.
I am in the real world. I'm just like, I can't control my age. Like I can't. Like this is just a part of life. But yeah, that shit used to bug me just because the education system literally is just a way to put you in line. Like get your body
Prepare
and
you
mind
to be a slave.
to
Yeah.
literally be wow, this is a great start. But it is, bro. You like wake up early, you leave school, you eat. It's like these little things. When low key, I should just be eating berries in the forest with my family. Like they're trying to get rid of the family unit. Bro.
They are. They're trying to break down. We'll get to that. But
We'll get to that.
I wanna ask you, did you ever like have, because I went through the same thing, like but for me it was more like I would wake up in the morning and be like, what the fuck am I doing with my life? Like obviously we're kids in people's eyes, right? So people don't respect kids' opinions, which
Right.
I mean, to a point, yeah, you shouldn't, but also
Well, yeah.
you should
looking
let them
back, I
be
was
them,
retarded
but-
as fuck. But
yeah, but like, you wake up in the morning, you're like, I'm going to school to learn what, like for what? And then like I would argue with my teachers, like in government class. I got in a lot of trouble.
really,
My government teacher and other students got mad at me because we were doing a debate on it was Congress.
okay,
And we were talking about something, and I got so just discombobulated. All I remember is just being just like, what the fuck? None of this makes sense.
yeah,
So I bring up and I'm just like, well, does the people's vote even matter if it's all dependent on Congress? And she's like, oh no, the people's vote still does matter. And I'm just like, yeah, but look at like, if you look at the details in reality, to me, it just doesn't make, that's why, I mean, my reasoning for not voting
Oh, yeah, you
to this
didn't vote.
day. But I wanted to ask you, did you ever have anything like that in school where you like tried to go against it and they were just like, who the fuck do you think you are?
probably. I
Yeah.
mean, there was a lot of like, I felt like, not to sound pretentious or anything, but like, even in high school, I wasn't that kind of smart. Like, I'm like dyslexic as fuck, and like, if math and shit like that, just I was always like the theater fucking gay kid, and like,
I'm not
but
surprised.
no, absolutely. I was a twink back then, dude. It was sick. I was literally like in Greece. It was, like if you saw videos of me, like
No,
you wouldn't.
we got to
under-
pull up the archives at
Dude,
some
we
point
might
in
have
your
to pull up
future.
the archives. It's pretty bad, but yeah, I mean, I definitely felt like that. I always kind of went a little bit against the grain, but I started smoking weed too. I was like, "Where the system?" Like that's really when that's probably when I took the fucking pill, dude. I fucking smoked a J, and I was like, "Whoa, dude."
Yeah.
I kind of always felt like that because it was kind of fucked up. High school was weird. That shit was weird as fuck.
Yeah.
And college was strange too. I had that's when I took like a poli-sci class, and I had this gay professor. But he, when you're in college, you can't tell like he was so gay, but like you could never say it. Like, and he was obviously like left leaning,
Mhm.
but you're supposed to be super non-biased when you're a professor. So like he would just be like I would just ask questions like that, like simple questions that he just would. Looking back, like I know he was just super liberal and being like
Gay.
nah, and being gay, which I'm not liberal or Republican. I did vote because I never voted, so I was like I don't want to vote.
Just this year.
It was just fun. Like I was just in line. It actually wasn't fun at all. Turns out it fucking sucks. I'm just in line with a bunch of old fucking Republicans, but it was cool.
That's good.
I definitely voted for Kamala.
Yeah, we're surprised. We had no clue.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you love that lady. You talk about her on stage all the time.
I love her, dude. She's just so cool. Where'd she go, bro? It's funny when they lose. It's like,
I don't know.
where do they go?
I saw her on an Instagram reel saying the fight's not over or some shit like that. I don't even know. Don't even quote me because I don't know if it's real, but she definitely one of the ones I was trying to break down the family dynamic with the shit going on. But yeah, let's get into that. So what do you think about that? How do you think they initiated this? Like where, like all your thoughts I want to hear on them breaking down the family dynamic and who's doing it.
All right, well, I go in pretty deep with all this shit. Like it all comes back to just, I mean, all this shit really is smoke and mirrors. Like I hate to sound like you smoked weed now. I'm getting a little fucking secondhand, but it is, dude. It's true because at a certain point, like people are like, "Oh, conspiracies this, conspiracies that," and like you sound like a nut. You sound like one of those types of people. But I mean, if you think about it from if there's powers that be, like if there's people at the top, and they're not in a fucking room drinking blood or anything. Like, I mean, they might be, but there are certain companies like that own the U.S. and the world.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's just a fact. Like the president doesn't really have power. He's just kind of like a figurehead, and they just let all the fucking ants fight each other all day. Like the news, the media, all that shit is just ways to just stir up bullshit. Like the fucking CEO shooter. Like they use stories like that to like, you know, just distract from probably some crazy fucked up shit going on. Mm-hmm. And then every week they're like, oh, just pump that out, you know.
The drones.
The drones.
It's like boom, boom, boom.
It
boom.
is.
It's
and
like
it's constantly, we've never been more psyoped in our lives. Like, because back in the day, you could be psyoped, you know, in the 50s, the 60s, and there was like 3 news stations, excuse me, and like there's like, actually, no, excuse me, Burke. But
you can't excuse yourself, then unexcuse yourself.
I'm unexcused, bro. Fuck that. You know, it was easier back then to psyop.
Yeah.
But now it's like, it's easier, but at the same time, people are asking more questions.
Yeah.
Because like, people are genuinely never been more dumb, but at the same time, there's like a side of people who are asking a lot of questions, you know?
Yeah.
There is like, I don't know if that made any sense, if that just sounded like nothing, but just with like Twitter and all this shit, there's just constant distraction. I feel like back in the day, there wasn't as much distraction.
Yeah, you'd see like a newspaper in a window back in the day, but now it's constantly being shoved in your face 24/7. And it's almost like you can't get away from it, because even if you had like a Nokia, say you're sitting next to your buddy that has a smartphone, you're either looking over his shoulder or he's showing you some shit. Yeah, you can't get away from it.
A Nokia. Yeah, it's the biggest drug. I mean, I look at, especially with my job, like I look at screens. I was thinking about this the other day. I look at screens more than I do probably human beings. Like, think about it. Like, I'm going from, and it's just sizes of screens. So, like, you think, like, okay, I wake up, I check my phone, I shower, I'm listening to music, like, in the shower. Then I drive, and I'm kind of like, you know, just driving, checking my phone. Then I stare at a computer all day. On my break, I'm on my phone, because what are you going to do on your fucking break? Then I go home and play video games. I'm on a bigger screen. Yeah. And then I watch a show or a movie and go to bed. Like, my whole entire life is just another screen. Obviously, there's stuff to break it up, like shit like this, or comedy and stand-up, which is, like, amazing. But still staring at a screen.
Dude, I get sucked in all day. All
you
day.
Get sucked off all day?
I get sucked off under my desk at work. No, I get sucked in because like I almost wonder if they send you fake notifications sometimes, so you'll open the app.
Oh yeah.
I get that sometimes where it'll be like you have a new notification on Instagram, and I'll open it and there's nothing there.
There's nothing there.
And I'm just like, and I catch myself on the reels and shit. Oh. As soon as I open it, and I'm just like, and then 30 minutes later, I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? Sometimes it's like an hour later, I'm like, what am I doing?
Like, like Men in Black, fucking little mind eraser. Like you get sucked. Their goal, if you're thinking about it from like a business perspective, their goal is to get you on that shit as much as they can. Get you eating McDonald's as much as you can. You know what's gonna hit your senses, and you're addicted to it. Like your dopamine receptors or all that bullshit is constantly. You know, they're trying to find more ways. Like I've had times, and I've heard other people say this, but like there's always that thing where it's like, oh, I said, you know, Blue Chew. I'll use Blue Chew as an example. I'm talking about Blue Chew, and then like it pops up on your phone, right? But there's been times where I've thought of Blue Chew,
and it pops up on
and
your
I haven't
phone.
even said it. Bro.
Yes.
I swear to God, that's happened to me the other day.
I've gone through the same shit.
Dude, I passed by Firehouse Subs on my way to work on Wickham, and I haven't gone there since I started work, but I'm like right by it, and like I'm driving there and I'm thinking like I should get Firehouse. Like I haven't been there in a while. Like maybe I'll get Firehouse on my break. I'm thinking that. On Instagram, 4 hours later, Firehouse. Swear to God. Is that a side? Am I probed? Like what's going on?
I sometimes think about it because I go through the same shit. Dude, I was watching this lady. A lot of people call her schizophrenic in the comments.
Or she's fucking tapped in and cool.
She thinks the feds are following her, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be honest with you people, I'm a little crazy. I've had a couple instances where I thought maybe like I'm like they're on, they know that I know they're on, but like you got to check yourself sometimes, be like, all right, I'm not that important in any grand scheme of things. But this lady, she was like, I guess married to sleeping with a Fed, and the wife found out that the guy, I guess the wife of the dude found out that she was sleeping with him.
Right.
And because she told her, the girl that was sleeping with him told her.
Oh shit.
And she thinks ever since she's noticed ever since.
Yeah.
That she's seen like cars outside of her house or following her around.
Oh, yeah.
But here's where it gets crazy. It'll be like a Toyota Camry in a gym parking lot with like a Washington D.C. plate, but it's got tinted out windows, and she's just like, it's a Fed. And I'm just like, well, I wonder if like she's got 65,000 followers of people, and it's all of her reels are just they're
she's
following
just
me.
Filming Camrys.
Look, she's filming cars. She's like, look, they're outside my house.
I mean, hey, get it where you get. I mean, maybe that's her niche thing, because sometimes you get followers and then you're like, oh, I got to keep it going. I'm the schizo lady, you know. You're like, fuck, this is my thing now. Or I don't know. There's some crazy shit out there, man. I mean, obviously, I have a schizophrenic cousin. And, like, you start talking to that dude, and he's like, he blew my mind the other day. He's like, you know, in science fiction, aliens are always green. And I was like, okay, yeah, they're like gray or green. He's like, that's because when we study them on the moon, we're wearing night vision. And I was like, okay. Like he pours out milk jugs in he lives with his mom, my aunt, and she'll wake up in the middle of the night and he's just pouring out milk in the fridge because he thinks that the government like tapped like his poison, like spiking his milk.
Yeah.
I mean, there's definitely schizophrenia in this country, bro. I swear I might have a little skits.
I mean, I didn't realize it would hit so close to home. I didn't know it was in your family.
Well,
I mean,
he's not my real cousin. He's like technically, he's my aunt's, you know, married, you know, and they had a kid. And
then remarried into your family. Yeah. I know what you mean, yeah.
So he's not like, I don't think he's blood.
I got a lot of like third-party family in my family too.
Third-party schizo.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
More other issues, not schizophrenic, but yeah, third-party.
I think the age is like 25, and then like after that, like if you don't get it, you're good. So like, I think I'm pretty good.
Yeah, I think when I did mushrooms. And then also smoked weed on top of mushrooms is what kind of put me in I was in a fucked up place for like a few months where I was just like, I wasn't like stuck in anything, but I was just like, you know, when it's almost like you're red pilled too quick.
Oh yeah.
Like it just everything happened. Like it was all at once, you know,
Mhm.
going through childhood shit and then also government shit. And also like, it was just like, oh my God, I
Oh.
can't handle it.
Dude.
So, you know, you go a little crazy. But I've evened out. It was like a year or two ago. But have you ever done mushrooms?
Oh yeah. I
Yeah.
did mushrooms when I was 21, and I always wanted to do them. And my buddies came over. It's like when I was living in Orlando, just college shit. And I'm like a naturally anxious person. Like I've been anxious forever. But I used to smoke like a lot of weed back then. So I was like, oh, the next step is shrooms. Like, let's go. And then like all my friends were there, and my girlfriend at the time was like, yeah, you know. And I just was like not eating that day, I guess, because I was probably like subconsciously anxious. So then like I just had 3.5 grams like on an empty stomach, and I ate them, and then I ripped a bong like right when I was peaking, which was just like, I don't know. I heard all the things like be with your friends, be in a good state of mind, you know, all that bullshit, have a babysitter. And I did all that. But like there was other shit like, hey, eat, you know, hey, like don't rip a bong right before you fucking. So we're all sitting at a table and it's like, they say, oh, it takes like 45 minutes to kick in. Bro, like 10 minutes in, because I'm probably because I had no food in my stomach. Like I'm talking to people, and all I'm like, it wasn't. I was always expecting visuals, but for me, it was like what I was hearing. So like they would talk, and they'd be like, "Hey, I'm going to the store." I'm like, whoa! Like I didn't know it was gonna hit that, and I was like, "Is anyone else like fucking already tripping?" And everyone's like, "No," which scares you more because you're like, "Am I like something happening? Like,
Yeah.
why is it affecting me this way?" So I immediately started panicking. Like, there wasn't a time where I was like, "Oh, this is fun." Like, because you know that slight paranoia you get when you first smoke weed lasts like 5 minutes, and then the rest of it's like pretty fun. My theory is that mixed with the peak of the shrooms, so like the paranoia like was mixing with when I was coming up.
It's just elevating
and
it.
then I was just in a 6-hour fucking hell death race. And I was in my room, immediately stared in the mirror. Like they say.
They tell you not to do it. I did it too.
Immediately, I was like, no, I'm going to do it. Nah, I'm actually going to immediately, I was like, you're ugly. I hate you. Like I was having I was having an ego death, but it was really just like a roast. Like I was like looking at myself like, you're a fucking loser. You fucking fat bitch. Like I was just like, there's so much like, that was kind of good, but people are like, oh, that's freeing, you know. I was like, no, I just felt like shit, like being high. And then my friends who weren't on shrooms, they were just drinking, were like, my best friend Kyle, he was just like, he was the only one who gave a shit. My girlfriend was blackout drunk. She fell, hit her head. She was like bleeding from her head. Saw blood on shrooms. I was cold then hot, cold then hot. I was sweating, so then I was cold, and then I put a hoodie on. I was trying to put on a hoodie for like 45 minutes. I stuck my head through the fucking arm sleeve, like shoving it through the arm sleeve. Like, I was by myself because I was like, I need to be by myself. And I remember it probably was 2 minutes, but for 45 minutes in my head, I was putting on a hoodie, and then I was in my bed just like, oh, sleep it off. 5 hours of me in my bed like I'm going to be in an asylum the rest of my life. Like I was praying. Like I was like, it was traumatized. Like it really was like terrible, bro. Like the worst it could be.
Yeah.
The worst it could be, which sucks because like, you know, I wanted to have a good experience on it.
And that was the only one time.
One time, bro.
Wow.
I couldn't, never did
I
acid.
mean, I can imagine because I had the same thing, except it was I didn't quite learn from my second time, I guess. I think the third time was really it, but the first time was great. I had the best, like, thank God I had the best experience. But
Lucky,
it
bro.
didn't do much for me except for connect me with the world, I guess, or like Earth.
Yeah.
It was more like hippy dippy shit. It wasn't anything like internal.
Right.
So I was like, I feel like I got to do this again.
Did you see it real quick? Did you see Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah.
Fucking.
He was wearing a tutu.
He's like high. He's like that. Yeah, that's the dream scenario. Like where you're like, oh. You know.
Yeah. No, I got lucky. But I was like, oh, fuck it, I'll do it again. I did it again by myself.
Oof.
I smoked a dab pen on the come up outside in my backyard. Immediately after I exhaled, I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
I came inside, went into my bedroom, and I threw up immediately.
Yeah.
And then I was in like a 4-hour cycle of pacing in my bedroom, thinking about some fucked up shit that happened to me, laying down, crying, and then throwing up and doing it all over again.
For what feels like timeless.
It was, it felt like it was gonna happen
You're
forever.
literally in hell, yeah.
Yeah, it was 4 hours, but once it's over, it's like the relief is like fucking.
The relief
oh my
is,
god! You're like, thank God this is over.
It was honest. Yeah, I remember my buddy came over because he heard I was like freaking out. He was like, all right, let me try to like help him, and he actually did. So like my shroom experience, the only fun I had was like the literal 10-minute come down, like pause, like I was like writing in a notepad, like or sticky notes, like yellow sticky notes.
Yeah.
And I kept thinking it was like craft singles, like they looked like craft singles. And when I was writing in them, it felt like I was carving into cheese, like. And I was just remember like I was like, am I drawing in cheese right now? Like, you know, little craft singles. I was like, how am I doing this? Like that's. I was like in the. It was like it was in it. I don't know. Like
you should talk about that on stage. It's funny,
dude. I'll talk about that in Blind Lines tonight. It was that was the only fun part.
Yeah.
And then it kind of just faded away, and I was like, I think I'm normal again.
Yeah.
One time I got so high on, we were like smoking blunts in like a college apartment, and it was like one of those things where like there was like 4 blunts in rotation, and like it was just like boom, 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 and I like greened out. So, like, I just went black. Like, I blacked out. I completely went blind for, like, 5 minutes.
Jesus.
Like, I was like, guys, I can't see. And everyone's like, whoa, holy shit. And I was like, guys, I can't see. I'm blind. I kept screaming, I'm blind. And they were like, holy fuck. Like, but I was dead ass blind. Like, I wasn't just high, like, you know, like, fucking, I couldn't see. And, like, again, severely dehydrated, didn't eat. Like there's like, you know, you're in college, you just fucking eat like it's dumb shit. You know, I'm still on a college diet, by the way. It's like it's 1 7-Eleven taquito, like Doritos, Gatorade, and then like I'm like, that's good for the whole.
I was perfectly fine until I started comedy. Now I'm on a college diet and I never went to college.
Dude, I'm drinking Busch Light. I had a Slim Jim earlier. You know how bad my breath smells right now? This mic
smells like my mother's when she was an alcoholic.
Dude, this mic, you got to do a fucking whole re-scrub on this thing. It's deteriorating.
As long as you're not sick, I don't care. I don't sit over there.
Dude, everyone got the fucking no. This is biohazard. This is bad.
Oh god, that cracks me up.
I'm still on that shit. I try to eat better, but it's I have a thing with food where like I have a thing with food. No, like it does make you like on your break, like especially being in the fucking Matrix, you're like, oh, like I get an hour break, which is amazing. But it's like that's like your only time of chill and you just want to feel good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I'm like, there's so much food around me. I'm just like, oh. So I have no self-control. I have zero self-control. I'm eating like, and then I wonder why I have anxiety and feel like fucking shit all the time. I'm like, oh, you just ate a Famous bowl. Like, you just went to KFC and ate a Famous bowl. You shouldn't, no fucking man should ever eat mashed potatoes, corn, cheese, and chicken in a bowl. Mashed, like that's, but it's so good.
Just don't get a heart attack before 50. We need you.
I'm definitely going to get a heart attack, bro.
I buy my husband like snacks all the time, but if he doesn't touch them or open them within 3 days, I will. And then I end up eating it all.
What's the snack situation looking like? What's
I
your
always,
top?
my favorites or what I get him. I am for sure,
For sure, bro. You fucking
for sure. For sure. Hot Cheeto, hot fries. That's a one.
Jesus
That
Christ. So
those
your
go
mic's
together.
pretty fucked up too.
Oh yeah, God yeah. Or hot Funyuns. Those are like all together.
Oh,
I'll
hot
pick
Funyuns.
one of those.
I don't like regular Funyuns, but I like hot Funyuns.
Yeah, peanut
So
M&Ms. That's number
Peanut
2.
M&Ms? I love peanut
Yes,
M&Ms.
that's my jam. I used to fucking hate them. My dad used to buy them because I would hate them because I wouldn't eat them.
Right. You had a nut allergy. He was like, I fucking hate this kid.
Yeah, no. But I've grown into them as I've gotten older.
Nice.
I don't know if I have. Those are like my primary.
So
My
you're
primary
you're-
two when I'm like on the weekend on the way home from a show. Like that's what I get.
What?
Hot Cheetos
Yeah, okay.
and peanut M&Ms.
Yeah. I'm like a fucking 70-year-old Jew. I like licorice. Like
Said a 7-year-old.
I like weird, like I like just licorice,
Maraschino
like
cherries.
maraschino cherries. I fucking eat just like raisinets.
Weathers.
Like Weathers. I eat fucking chocolate covered raisins. It's disgusting. Like milk duds and weird shit. Like milk duds are amazing.
Chocolate covered raisins are my third, I would say.
But, really?
That was my shit growing up. Like
Dude, it's the
every time we go
oldest-
to a movie theater and we'd stop at the dollar store beforehand. I guess.
Yeah. So good. I do at the movies. If we're talking movies, I do crunch a bunch in the popcorn. I like pour it in the popcorn. So like, you ever have crunch a bunch or bunch of crunch or one of those?
Is that like the crunch bars, but it's like the
Little
circles?
fucking little.
Yeah, I'm not
or-
a fan, but I've had them.
So good. You put it in the popcorn, and they almost are like little popcorn. So you like, it's like a chocolate
Popcorn.
effect. Yes.
See, I'm a real butter salt person when it comes to popcorn.
I keep going to the movies. I'm a huge movie. I go to the movies
I
like
know
3
you
days
are,
a
yeah.
week. Like a fucking going to the movies by yourself. By the way, is just like that's my therapy. It's I don't really care how gay that sounds, but like
Whatever.
it's just so sick. And I never put butter on my popcorn. Like I don't know. I just always just liked this. But then like something changed within me. I got fatter and I was like, oh my God, like now I'm drenching it in butter and I keep ruining my pants because the butter
seeps
keeps
through
seeping I buy
You
new
got a double bag, bro.
you got to double bag the popcorn. Oh fuck, I didn't think of that. Dude, there's been 3 instances in the past like 6 months where like I get out of the theater, I look like I fucking jacked off to fucking Moana 2. Like it's
And you're by
literally
yourself, too.
just by myself. Like I come out and I don't even know because I'm like walking around and I get in my car and I look down, it's just grease stains all over my jeans and I'm like, oh, like, and they're done. They're done.
You
Because guess
probably
what?
shouldn't make that face.
Yeah.
You're
I'm
walking
literally
around like
walking
that.
out like, wow, what a great movie. I was like, what the fuck? This guy just
Did
cum
he
his
just
pants in the fucking newest Pixar movie. Like it's
Oh
yeah.
my God.
It's
Yeah. What's your all-time favorite movie as of right now in this moment?
as of right now, like
As
this
of-
year,
No,
or
like
just
all time right now because it
um,
could change in the future. You never know.
my it's always like a top 3 is always
Okay,
kind of
give me
like
top 3.
changing. They're the same 3, but they always like go back and forth.
Excuse you, since you
No,
won't.
not excuse you. This mic's crazy, dude. This thing's kind of still. Doctor Strangelove, which is like a Stanley Kubrick film about like you got to watch it if you're tapped into all the political shit.
Yeah.
It's literally just a movie about the world leaders. I think it was in like the 70s, 60s, 70s. And it's like a parody of like they're in like a huge situation room and they're all like the threat of nuclear war is like about to happen and they're all it's like a dark comedy. It's fucking amazing.
Okay.
They're all just arguing with each other and it's funny. It's like all the world leaders in one room, but it's like almost like a parody dark comedy. Anyways, that movie, this movie called Y tu mama tambien. I was told to say it in a more Spanish accent because I was doing Christopher Columbus's podcast. What's his name? Christopher Robinson.
For Columbus.
Christopher Robinson's podcast. I can never get his name. It's too many like Christopher Robinson. Yeah.
Yeah, you're just thinking about Winnie the Pooh, Christopher
I know,
Robbins.
but I'm like, yeah, but it's a all right.
Chris Robinson.
He was like, "What's your favorite movie?" And I was like, "Y tu mama tambien." And he was like, "What?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, I should probably say that a little more because it's a Spanish film directed by Alfonso Cuarón. He did like the Order of the Phoenix, or no, he did one of the Harry Potters. But
I like all
Children
the
of
Harry
Men. You ever
Potters,
seen
so-
Children of Men?
No.
He did that one. But that's like my favorite movie, probably. Y tu mama tambien.
Okay.
It's like a fucking Spanish film. It's incredible. And then I like this movie, Phantom Thread, which is like Paul Thomas Anderson. He made like There Will Be Blood, Boogie Nights.
Okay.
He's like fucking one of the great. He's probably like my favorite director. I love that guy.
Yeah, so you'd probably vomit at my top 3 since you're a film guy.
Fast and Furious 1, Fast and Furious 2.
No, actually, none of the Fast and Furious are in my top 3, I don't think.
Okay. All right. Now we can talk.
The Italian Job.
Oh, okay.
Boondock Saints.
Okay.
And I don't really know if I have a third one, to be honest. Those
just go
are
back
those
and
are the
forth?
two that I've always like. I would say if I could pick a third one, I'd pick a TV show and I'd say Dexter, because I really don't have another movie. I can't think of any other movie that I'm like, that's the one.
So you like definitely like that gunslinging fucking mob slash
Yeah,
yeah, okay. I see your vibe.
I like
You
the.
like what's a movie like that? Have you seen Dog Day Afternoon
That sounds
with
familiar.
Al Pacino? It's like about a bank robbery. It's fucking
I think so.
if you haven't, revisit
Yeah, no, I will have to because I definitely don't remember.
or Heat. You ever see Heat?
I think so. Yeah.
It's like Pacino, De Niro, fucking
We just rewatched that earlier this year.
Heat.
Yeah, I think it's
Oh.
on Netflix.
Yeah, it's like the big shootout scene in the fucking Michael Mann. He made like, I mean, that's like one of his biggest movies. But dude, that's like one of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
Fucking love Heat. That's cool. I really like shit like that. I like The Town. The Town's good.
Do you know that movie where the girl, it's a newer movie where a girl, I haven't watched it yet, but I go to this kava bar and they'll be playing, there's this one guy
Why do you
that
go to this
goes
kava
there.
bar? Why do you go to kava bar? You drink kava?
Yeah. I know I'm a loser.
God damn.
But there's this guy there, it's a film guy. He like film, like just like you are. And he puts on like the craziest shit that I
Yeah.
like, and it gets everyone's attention at the
Yeah.
bar because they're like, "What the fuck is this?"
Yes.
But there's this one he had on like 2 weeks ago. His name is Connor Fitzgerald, by the way.
Okay.
Very cool guy. But it's basically this lady that makes a clone of herself
Okay.
so she can stay young and like beautiful. And like
The Substance?
hot, yes, The Substance. What is your thoughts on that? Should I actually watch it? Is it worth?
Because you've seen like bits and
I've only
pieces?
seen like bits. I saw the part where she was in the bathroom and just like this ugliest
coming
creature, and
you
it's
saw
the
like
weirdest shit of her, like a titty growing out of her forehead. I saw the ending pretty much. Yeah, I watched the whole ending, but I didn't watch anything else.
Yeah, I mean, no, like The Substance, it had its day in the sun. Like when it came out, I mean, it's Demi Moore, it's Margaret Qualley, the chick who made it is pretty cool. Like she made I think she made this other movie called Promising Young Woman. It's very like women, like go women movies. Because this one's all about, you know, you could already kind of see the themes of it's about Demi Moore's character is. I say it real pretentious like that. Demi Moore. Demi Moore, her character is like this washed up actress and kind of like losing her, you know. So she finds this like weird, it's like Black Mirror vibes. Like she finds this kid offers her this thing called The Substance, and she's real skeptical at first, but then ultimately ends up like it's like an injection. So 7 days, the whole thing, it's science fiction. So it's like you get to be, for 7 days, you are a young, not your younger self, but a different young, hot version of yourself. And then your old body, she's just like laying on the bathroom floor, like for 7 days. And you like have to like inject food into it and just to keep it alive. And then the other 7 days, you're back to your normal self. But if you bleed over, so say you still wanted like, you're young and hot, and you're like, okay, let me just get one more day. Like 8 days, then the other version of yourself like gets more decrepit. So she wakes up and her finger's like a fucking old monster finger because the other version of her wanted to stay younger for longer. So then she starts abusing it, and like that's what you saw is like, you know, by the end, because you're young and hot and you don't want to go back to your old fucking shitty body.
Yeah.
Anyways, that concept alone is amazing. Terrible movie.
Really?
Terrible movie, bro. Like,
you think it could have been done like a million times better?
I hate shit that's on the nose. Like, this movie just tells you everything. Like, I like movies that you got to watch a couple times and like it's not right on the surface, you know. You're like, this movie like holds your hand during the entire.
You don't need to think. You don't have to think about it.
It says a cool like message. Like, I've argued with people on fucking Twitter like this movie sucks, and like women are just like, you don't get it. Like, you're not fucking like, it's about the patriarch, like all this fucking shit. And I'm like, no, I get it.
Yeah.
That's actually my problem with it, is I get it so much that there's like the screenplay is so bad.
Yeah.
It's just right in your face. It's like, let me think. Like when a writer treats their audience like retards, like that's insulting.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, oh, like then this happens and then this happens. Like that's for some people, obviously, but like I like a movie where you're like, what did I just fucking watch? And then you gotta like watch like a YouTube video. It's like, what does this movie mean? You know?
Yeah.
Like, and they like break it down, and then you watch it again. You're like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's movies that I don't, 90-minute fucking John Wick, like it's just fun.
Yeah.
That I like too, but
just casual viewing.
that movie
mostly,
was just its own version of like self. I don't know. It was just so beats the point into your fucking face. You're like, okay, I get it, and it's 2 hours and 20 minutes, and you're like. That being said, it was very fun to watch. Like it was entertaining.
I got the gist of it, not even from hearing it. Like I pretty much just like watched the visuals, and I was like, okay, I kind of get what's going on here.
Extremely entertaining.
Yeah.
Margaret Qualley's hot. Demi Moore's fucking hot, and yeah, I get it. But at the end, there's like, it's like a body horror shit too. So like, there's some gnarly. Actual like practical effects and shit that I was like, whoa.
I had to look away at some points where I was like, I was watching the ending and I was like, what the fuck?
Dude, my favorite
fingernails and shit. I can't do fingernails.
Fingernails are rough.
Nope.
Yeah. Any peeling of fingernails. Yeah, that's yeah, I agree. My favorite thing in the world is like super fucked up movies and like showing showing it to someone and like seeing their reaction. So like I know some like really, really, really like foreign fucked up shit, and like I'll just show it to my mom, and she's just like, "This is the worst
That's
thing."
what Connor does.
It's so good. It's that one night. It was like me and my, Randy.
Randy.
He comes to the shows a lot. Randy, he's like shorter, kind of like.
Oh yeah. Of
he's
course,
like always, yeah.
I know Randy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah.
He we met these girls, we like hit it off with them, and then we all kind of like, I was talking to one, he was talking to the other, and we just went on a couple dates, yada yada, and then I was like, oh, I'm gonna have a game night at my house. So like they came over, and we were just all drinking, having like playing stupid board games and shit, and I was like, I got hammered, and like I have a projector, so I was like, oh, I'm gonna play like a fucking movie in the background. They were like, cool, and I like turned on this movie called Men by Alex Garland. He made like Ex Machina and like 28 Days Later and like shit like that. And there's like this scene at the end that's just like visually the most horrendous. It's like a man giving birth like out of his man pussy, like, and it's I'll show you after. It's the most.
I don't know.
No. Yeah. Actually,
like,
pull it up. Hey, Jamie, pull it up.
Yeah, Janet, get that up there.
It is. Like one of the most visually gross, but I like was hammered and I thought it was funny, and I turn and I look and they're like, I was scaring the host. Like I was very much like they were like, she was like looking like let's go, like, and I'm just like they're looking at me and I'm like looking at the screen, like it was just.
We can get my reaction right now if you want.
Can we pull it up in the podcast?
Yeah,
No,
I could try. Yeah, I could put it up next to it. I could probably. I'd have to blur out
shit.
the
No,
most
it'll be
of
fun.
it.
It'll
Yeah.
be fun.
In the meantime, I'm gonna
keep
ask
talking. I'm gonna
ChatGPT how do you think the government has broken down the family dynamic?
Oh, perfect. The nuclear family is at stake. Yeah, dude. I mean, I know we're bouncing around.
That's
here,
crazy.
They really are trying to dismantle this shit, bro. They're trying to just make it. My whole theory with that is that what is okay, Thanos. His idea is like, okay, I'm gonna snap my fingers, right, and get rid of half the population, right?
Mm-hmm.
Our government's so like nefarious it's like, this is going to be controversial. Get ready. But wouldn't it be in their best interest if we have an overpopulation problem in this country, in this world, which we do, and in some cases we don't, because like Elon says that's our number one problem. It's like a population decrease, actually, which is sketchy. But if we have so much people, wouldn't it be in our best interest to make abortion cool? Think about it.
You would think they would.
No, that's what they're doing, bro.
I don't think there's a
Like, let's make people gay. Let's make abortion cool. So it's like,
I think that's a part of breaking down the family dynamic, and yeah, that it could definitely be a part of breaking down population.
Well, in China, they were like, okay, only one, and then like that was not cool. You know, America's not really like that. They like to psyop you and trick you. Like, we would never be like, you can only have one kid, because then it'd be communist shit. So they more psyop and like do things like, I like saying psyop, make things like, for real, like tricking women into, which, hey, you can have your own thing.
Tricking women into going to work.
Yeah, for real. You
For
guys
real, though.
You guys had it real good. No, like,
Wait, but
abortions
yes.
are like cool, not cool, but like when I used to live in New York, it was like, yeah, which you could have your own opinion on abortion. I don't know what yours is, but like,
I don't think I've had to, and I don't think people should get them at all.
it's
We should be training women to not be whores or use condoms.
yeah. I will say, like, I don't have a super. I will say there are cases and things that like, yes, get one or whatever. I'm not like super deep on that, but I do think it's weird. Like, Louis has this joke. He's like, get an abortion, but like, quiet down about that shit. Like, just don't be in the street like, abortion. Like, you know, people with signs and shit like, woo.
It's out of
like,
hand, yeah.
He's like, the best idea to keep abortion like regular is like, if you get one, you got to eat it. He's like, that will make people, he's like, oh, fuck, I got to get this right now. It's going to be like, anyways.
Yeah.
It's
no, I agree that now the gayness is a thing. I think it's a real thing.
absolutely.
Now the elevation of it to be pushed onto people and young kids who are insecure and not sure of themselves yet because they haven't developed and become adults yet.
That's
the problem.
that's I don't care what anyone says. That's bizarre.
Yeah, it's
Obviously
very bizarre.
If you can't get a fucking tattoo, you know, that whole thing, like, if you need there's doctors, I went deep on it. I know this is going to sound bad. I don't give a shit, but like, it literally is doctors exploiting children.
No, they are, yeah.
Because I
agree with you.
They make customers for life.
Mm-hmm.
So when their parents come, their liberal parents go, when I was 7, my sisters I would beg them to paint my nails because I grew up with 2 sisters. I was the younger brother. I was a little fag. Like, I just was like, I wanted to be like them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was like, paint my, please, I just want one. You know, I used to say when I grow up, I was trans, dude. I literally used to say
But you would have been in today's world, probably.
I would always say if I had liberal parents now, I'd have no dick.
Mm-hmm.
I would be, because I would say when I grow up and I'm a girl, because that's how I thought.
Mm-hmm.
And I would literally, because that's how my sisters, I don't know. Then I grew up and I fucking jizzed everywhere and I was like, oh man.
Yeah, you hit puberty. And
I was like, oh my God. I was
having sex with your parents' couch and stuff.
Right,
yeah.
exactly.
I went through the same thing because I was, you guys know I'm like a tomboy, but I was so much more boyish. Like, I was a boy when I was a kid.
Right.
If somebody came to me and was like, Alex, do you think you're a boy?
Right.
I would have been like, yeah. They're like, do you want to start taking hormones so you can be a boy?
Yep.
I would have said yes,
100%,
of course, because I have an adult telling a child that I should do something.
100%.
And then they have these kids making videos for their parents so they can make money online. And it's just, these people are exploiting children. It's innocent children. It's sad.
It's their ideologies being, indoctrinated onto their children because like they believe in this thing. It's just like religion or honestly anything. It's just a different side of it because all that shit is like kind of a religion cult. Like what's it called? Like a lot of like women in Hollywood, like Charlize Theron, Megan Fox, like they adopted black kids and they're trans.
Mm-hmm.
Like literally Charlize Theron.
I saw Megan Fox's kid
They're
too.
they're black trans kids.
Yeah.
It's like it's like their little toy. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'm a Hollywood, like,
it's a trophy.
it's a trophy. It's
Yeah.
like you don't give a fuck. Like,
You don't give a shit
that
about
little
the
black
kid.
yeah, it's just it's actually really sad. Like, it's obviously controversial, whatever, but it's very sad. Like,
Yeah.
I would have been a fucking chick, dude.
I really think it started back in the, 60s and 70s when they started pushing women to get into the career fields and
Yeah.
get more involved in the working society. Because, like, if you think about it, like, as soon as women started going to work, men started taking home less because they started divvying
what the
up
fuck?
salaries
Yeah.
to account for the people. And now, dude, like, to be honest, the job I do, fucking, I don't need to be doing it. One person could do 2 of my job. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's almost like they overloaded the workforce. And then now you have kids at home with babysitters.
Daycare.
Don't
give a
They're
fuck.
not with their parents,
Yeah,
or at
that's-
least one parent. So
100%,
now
yeah.
you have kids with mental health issues, getting addicted to drugs and
Yep.
shit. And,
Go shoot up a fucking school.
and then it becomes like a snowball effect.
Does.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually very true.
But I feel like at least one parent should always have, like, you need to be home with your kid.
100%.
Your kid's gonna end up fucked up if you're not home with your kid.
Yeah.
I like every person I've seen has had some sort of childhood issues because at least it would stem from that,
100%.
and other things too. But
No, that's yeah, that's so true. And it's like, my sister has 3 kids, and she's super on that. Like, she loves fucking like Candace Owens and shit like that because I love Candace Owens. She's great, but
yeah,
because she talks a lot about that. Like, yeah, I mean, she thinks families, like, literally, like, she wants all of us to, like, own like a huge farm and like
a compound,
a compound, a
Yeah,
family
yeah.
compound, and have us all there, because that's what it is. Like, in America, it doesn't really happen in other. I mean,
Villages. You basically have villages. Your family.
yeah,
and
man.
shit,
Like,
yeah.
that's how it used to
It's
be.
natural.
It's natural, bro. You're with your family. You're it's a very American to be like, I'm 18, I'm moving out. Fuck you guys. And when I was 18, I was like, fuck you guys. Like, I did feel like that, but I feel like I was kind of like made to think that in a way because of my just TV and fucking movies and shit. Like, you're almost like mind controlled into thinking like, okay, yes, this is what I do.
Time
like,
to leave the house.
time to
Yeah.
leave my family.
I
And
did
it's
the
like,
same thing.
I'm 27 now, and I fucking love my family, dude. Like, I can't believe I moved to New York, which was amazing, but like missed like my niece and nephew grow up, like shit like that, like little things like that. I'm like, I don't know, because when they're gone, it's like they're gone. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh shit, I did not spend any time with them. All right, you want to see a fucking
Yeah, let's do it.
dude give birth to?
Yeah.
Uh,
Get my live reaction to a dude giving birth out of a mangina on a. What movie is this again?
so it's called Men. Which ties in
Was
with-
this based off of the first guy that had to give birth? Or
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. This is what he.
I'm starting to think that you're just pulling up a video on like a porn website.
No.
You're gonna have to send it to me so
Okay.
I can put it in the video
Yes.
too.
Yes. Okay, so did you watch SpongeBob as a kid?
Yeah.
You remember that episode of SpongeBob where you're like Squidward? I'm trying to like find the exact scene real quick. Like Squidward like finds this like weird cult thing, and they like pour him with cement, and then he's got like a little
Oh yeah.
leaf sticking out of his head or
Yeah,
some shit, and they're like,
yeah.
"This isn't Squidward." You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
This is what this like monster. So you're not gonna know the context. Is what should I do? Should I like just hand it to you?
Just give it to me. Yeah.
All right.
I'll watch it right here. Even the music sounds terrible. It sounds creepy. It looks like old Greg.
It is very old Greg. Yeah, that's what I was trying to describe the guy. It's like the Squidward guy and old Greg.
It does.
Bailey's.
This lady's covered in what the fuck? Why is he crying? It's so gross. Is this more worse than The Substance? The end where
Yes.
No fucking way.
To me,
I don't even know if I can watch them.
Just watch it and tap out whenever you want. We're definitely gonna have to blur some shit.
Oh no. Oh no, he is not.
This stuff just interests me on a level of like who thought, like why. What's happening?
He's birthing a child. And he's singing while he's doing it or screaming. I don't know what's happening. What the fuck? She's looking at him like, what the fuck is going on?
And this shit is so like, I watched this in a theater with like 4 men, like literally my friend and like, and we're all just like, what the fuck is happening? Yeah, it's it's pretty gnarly. Imagine me showing this to like hot chicks and like,
Hold on. You had this on a projector screen?
on a huge screen, and then being like, can you turn this off? And me being like so drunk and like
You're just
into it being
laughing?
like, haha, this part's my favorite. Like, and then like genuinely thinking I was like, which
What the fuck?
yeah, like genuinely thinking like, holy shit,
No,
this guy's.
stop. It's
don't-
pregnant too?
Oh, and then it has another one? Yeah.
The fuck, bro? And you still didn't shut it off to
Nah.
this part?
No, they like, till Randy literally had to like grab me and be like, bro, like, they're not like, I think they were genuinely scared. Which is like,
Oh, there's like
fucking
hair
pussies,
too.
dude. Like, I didn't make this shit. This would have had a theatrical wide release. Like,
Dude, doesn't even look like a vagina anymore.
yeah, it's one
Is
of the
that-
more. This movie's not really that good, even.
Oh my god.
But like Alex Garland made Ex Machina. Have you ever seen that?
I don't
About like
I
the
don't know.
AI fucking.
I don't think so.
Oh,
I've
you
heard
gotta-
of it, but
That's one of my favorites.
yeah,
I was watching Rogan the other day. He said it was like his favorite movie. I was
this
like, oh,
is
shit.
ridiculous.
Yeah,
Does it just keep going?
kinda. And then some more fucked up shit. Yeah, you don't have to. Yeah.
I don't know if it gets more fucked up than that. I can watch it
does.
for sure.
Well,
I
that's
just
pretty much the peak of it, but it gets.
I just can't do nail stuff. That's the only thing I will really just can't. I
You can
can't
do
look.
men
I
giving-
can't do animals dying,
Okay.
or I can't do nails. It's just too. But I can watch men give birth.
That's pretty. Yeah, that's yeah. No,
That's
I'm with
the
you on
first
the
time I've
nails. I
ever
can
seen
watch
that.
shit like that, and I'm like, yeah, nails freak me out. I just like. There's that weird. What it really was is like I got obsessed with trying to find the most fucked up movie. You know what I mean? Like what person would think of something like that, and like then they actually have to execute it. Like there's PAs on that set. Like there's people. There's someone at craft serve. Like there's just someone getting that guy coffee. You know what I mean? Like this is a huge movie. Like with a studio. You know what I mean?
It's crazy.
That-
Yeah, I do think about the people that make those. I'm just
Yeah.
like, what kind of state of mind does a person have to be in to be able to visually produce that?
That's what I'm saying. There's this guy Ari Aster. He made like Midsommar and shit like that.
Yeah.
He has a movie called with Joaquin Phoenix called can't think of the name right now, but Beau is Afraid. And it's just the most fucked up shit you'll ever seen. It's like there's something wrong with this person, like who made this movie.
Yeah.
Like there's no way you could think about it. There's a scene where there's a giant cock monster that represents his father, and it's like trying to kill him
What?
in an attic. And you're like, that'll be next episode.
Yeah, I mean, for real.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, I mean, we can pretty much close this bitch out. It's been an hour. You're
Sick.
a beer and a quarter deep, huh?
Yeah. I was like, all right.
Yeah, I would keep going because this has gone by pretty
No,
fast.
you have a show,
but
right?
Yeah, we
I
both
have a show.
shit. We
I
both
have a show in 30
shows.
minutes.
Yeah.
Okay. Very cool.
So yeah, thanks
Thanks,
for
dude.
coming. Do you want to plug your Instagram? You can look at this camera, plug your
Yes.
stuff.
My Instagram is at Noah J Fleming. My TikTok is Noah's Free Wi-Fi. I have 2 TikToks that have recently blown up. I'm Arby's. I love Arby's. I have the meets, and I go support local comedy.
And you're gonna be working on some merch.
I have a couple merch things in line on my
I remember you
TikTok shop.
talking a little bit about it.
Yes,
so, yeah.
I have a merch line called Never Kill Yourself. It's Never Kill Yourself, and I'm trying to get my brand going with that. But go buy that on my TikTok shop.
I follow your Spotify music playlist too, so you should shout that out. 'Cause
Yes.
it's pretty good actually.
Music.
I don't like pumping these guys' egos up, but it's pretty good.
I do dabble in the SoundCloud rap, so yes, follow me on all. Listen to my music on Apple and Spotify. No, it's free Wi-Fi.
Yeah, he makes music too. He
Yes.
doesn't just produce playlists, but
Yes,
yeah, this guy's gonna be making it somewhere.
you too, bro. Appreciate you having me on.
All right, yeah, thanks.
Thanks.
It's so weird ending.
She keep working that back and I'm about to throw the shit like